you should mess with that.
Dave doesn't like us talking to strangers.
President Daddy, there's a wastelander who wishes to see you, sir.
We have someone new in my republic. I am Dave, President of the Republic of Dave. You will address me as Mr. President, or I will have you executed. Now, are you applying for citizenship, asylum, or just vacationing in the Republic of Dave?
You're listening to Enclave Radio.
You are? Excellent. It's good to see that the Wasteland has finally recognized the sovereign Republic of Dave. If the people of the Wasteland are generous and respectful, I might deign to annex them. There's an election for the next president. Don't look so surprised. Can't you see this is a republic? Ah, a seeker of knowledge, then? Well, trust me, an election is what separates a president like myself from a monarch like my father. My father inherited his political power from birth and renamed this great nation the Kingdom of Tom. Although I also inherited my political power from my father when I took over, I formed a republic so the people may elect their leader. All right, sure, why not? The people have a tendency to wait until the last minute to vote, but I'd like just to get it over with. I'll spare a few caps if you just tell each of the adults to get over to the voting booth sometime today, so I cinch the victory. Not that I have anything to worry about. The people know who their leader is in this republic. The Department of Tourism usually handles all questions for outsiders. Make it quick. That's right. As president, I am head of the Department of Tourist Rights, the Office of Immigrant Affairs, and the Bureau of Dave-like Activities. My proudest duty, second to the presidency, is Commander and Chief of the Army of Dave, the most ruthless military in the wasteland. Years ago, I freed these poor people from the wrath of Tom, former monarch of the Kingdom of Tom. Afterwards, the people naturally elected me as their president, and the Republic of Dave was formed. Well, the Republic of Dave is the only true sovereign nation in the wasteland, the only really civilized place left in the world. One day, all wastelanders will be citizens in the Republic and know the greatness of their president. Well, good for you then. There's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Before the people elected me president, I worked with a mercenary named Mr. Crowley. We were part of an expedition to Fort Constantine. 2 of us died, including Crowley. The rest achieved the mission goals and were paid. Alive? I always wondered. He was locked in with a bunch of feral ghouls. They won't attack ghouls, you see. Would you consider taking him a personal item, like this key, and just telling him you killed me? You need all the keys to get through Fort Constantine. With only one key, there's no point in my going back. Of course it would. I knew that. I was just testing you to see if you would realize it. Here, take the key. It is a gift from the Republic of Dave to the Wasteland. The election is still going on. What do you want to know? That would be Bob, Shauna, Jessica, Rosie, and myself. In the Republic, if you're old enough to carry a weapon, you're old enough to vote. Rosie and Jessica are usually here in the capital. Bob usually hangs out outside near the Brahmin pen. Shauna runs the Museum of Dave, so you can find her there. Jessica hasn't voted yet. Tell Shauna that Dave commands her to vote in the election. She'll come running, trust me. Not yet. Rosie still hasn't voted. Bob still hasn't voted, that dumb bastard. I told you before. I'll spare a few caps if you just tell each of the adults to get over to the voting booth sometime today. There's Jessica, Rosie, Bob, and Shauna. I already voted. Of course I voted. I was the first to vote. Now I'm just waiting for the rest of the votes to come in.
And it made them lazy, America. Oh, yes, and laziness breeds stupidity.
Very well.
Rest assured,
Hi.
I will not make the
Later.
mistakes of my predecessors. When John Henry
Man,
builds a
the
country,
ramen smell awful
he
today.
builds it to last.
You have my vote, Mr. President.
Way.
Glad to hear that.
You, my darling America, deserve that. Don't you deserve a future free of war and fear and terrible
Hi there, honey. Have you spoken to Dave?
Of course.
I heard that Dave allowed you to stay. Well, welcome, stranger. Just be mindful of the children.
That I will never rest.
Sure, honey, but don't make it too long or Dave will start wondering why we're talking.
We deserve a place.
Dave is a good man. He looks after all the children and makes sure they have plenty to do. He's bought a lot of toys, not that he'd admit it. He has our Shauna teach classes to the younger ones. She's over at the Museum of Dave to the west of the Republic. Not much to say, really. I'm Dave's wife, or first wife, I guess. I've lived here for many years now. Well, yes. Dave and I were married when he was wandering the wasteland, before inheriting the Republic from his father, Tom. After Ralph was born, Dave said that the President of the Republic needed to repopulate the wasteland. So, now we have a second wife. We have plenty of food and water here, and the compound is fairly safe. I'm glad the children can be raised here, away from the wasteland. I'd like to see more trading done with the local caravans, but Dave's afraid their outside influence could weaken the Republic. Sure, honey. Election time is always exciting around here. Only Dave. He's the only person who ever runs. Did you ask Dave if that's okay? Did Dave say you could do that?
Again, sweet America, this is President John Henry Eden, and I'd like
Believe it or not, I used to lead a group bigger than this one on an old caravan route.
we discuss something
I did it for years, and we did pretty well for ourselves.
you at hand.
But what am I talking about? Running against Dave would be like betraying him.
Question has been raised, I know, as to just how I came to be elected to this most illustrious office. Or whether or not I have been elected.
Maybe you're right. More trouble than it's worth.
Answer, of course. Of course I was elected. Sweet America.
You're right. I'll go right now.
Isn't the right to vote the very
I heard that Dave allowed you to stay.
democracy? Fortunately,
Goodbye. Take care of yourself.
of national security, I'm not at liberty
Ah,
to discuss the
it's the
details
keeper of the
this
key.
election. You understand? But rest assured,
Dave says
I
you're okay?
am your
Fine.
president, because the appropriate
You should
people of
talk to
this
Dave, but
great
okay.
nation decided I should be.
First wife.
I
Rosie
am
is the second wife,
your duty
since she's the oldest and not good for anything anymore.
Of course, when the time
That's
comes,
President
when
Dave to you,
my term is
Wastelander.
up,
Call him by his
America
full
will be
name,
free to
or we'll
elect
shoot
a new
you.
president.
He takes care of all of us.
Will have our
Even that
full
selfish
faith
Rosie and her
and confidence
brats.
and
My
carry our
children will be a
collective
lot
faith
nicer than hers.
into the future.
All I have to
Democracy,
say
dear
is
America.
Dave is my husband.
Democracy
Mine. Do you
now
understand?
and
I don't care what
forever.
Rosie has to say about it.
We've got a part
Just because
now,
Rosie
you
used to
and
be
I.
this big leader out in the wasteland, she thinks she's better than me. She even ordered Dave around once.
Tirelessly to rebuild this great nation.
Dave is a great leader. He's going to bring civilization back to the wasteland. One day, they'll say it all started here. Okay. I'll help you if I can. I don't think you can do that. You'd better ask Dave. No way. You'd have to be crazy to run against him. Anything else? I guess you're right. I'll go right now.
I heard that Dave allowed you to stay. Election. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to betray Dave. You're right. Dave's just been pushing me around. It's time for a change.
Dave says you're okay? Fine. You're safe as long as Dave says so.
Are you really from the wasteland? Wow!
Yes? What is it? Come on, I don't have all day. Shauna runs the museum, not me. What the hell do you want? Yes, he does, and they're both pains in my ass. Always got to keep them in line or else they get all teary. Dave made me second commander of the Army of Dave, and that means I get a gun. Don't make me have to use it. All you need to know is that I'm second in command next to Dave, so don't bother me. And don't talk to Rosie or Jessica either. Those are Dave's wives, and they have work they need to do. Dave is in charge. When he's not around, I'm in charge. If you want anything else, go to the Museum of Dave on the left side of the compound. Oh, great. Oh yeah? What about it? So I've heard. She couldn't possibly think that she'd be better than Dave. Man, I'd love to be the president. Everybody would have to listen to me or I could just exile them to the wasteland. And the first thing I'd do is make myself the permanent leader so they couldn't vote me out in some other election. But there's no need for me to run. One year, Dave is just going to make me the leader, just like my grandpa Tom did for him. Yeah, I'll show him. And when I'm in charge, everyone will have to say I'm as good as Dave. Better even. Fine, I'll get out of the way. Yes? What is it? Just don't bother me. I've got stuff to do for Dave.
President Daddy says the people from outside the Republic are bad.
President Daddy says that people from outside the Republic are bad.
Hello, my beautiful America.
Hello.
This is
Hey.
President Eden, and it's time.
I heard that Dave allowed you to stay.
Did you know
Election time.
there are those amongst us who would shatter our
Glad to hear
hopes
it.
for peace, order, and security? These
Dave says you're
radical
okay?
malcontents
Fine.
don't care about you. They don't care about America. All they
Wow,
care
what's going
about
on in this
is
town?
fulfilling their own selfish desires. Let's take a tally of these agitators, shall we?
Have you heard about Dave,
There are,
mister?
of course, the raiders.
So,
Those
Dave gave you the okay, huh?
anarchistic ruffians
Well,
who
welcome
roam
then.
the wastes,
I run the Museum
preying
of Dave,
on any
where
and
the
all
children of the
stealing,
Republic can
murdering.
learn about their heritage.
The so-called Brotherhood of
Sure, the Museum of Dave is happy to answer any questions on behalf of the Republic of Dave's Office of Tourism.
To the United States Army.
Dave revised the restrictive marriage laws of the Kingdom of Tom shortly after the Republic was formed. Multiple marriages is now considered one of the great free freedoms of the Republic of Dave. President Dave is the savior of the wasteland, bringing peace and order to the savages man has brought upon himself. If you would like to learn more, please stop by the Museum of Dave's official tour at 2 p.m. Me? I just run the museum and teach classes to the little ones. You know, truth, justice, and the will of Dave. The Republic of Dave offers a rich history rivaling that of the great nations before the war. How very Dave-like.
Lawlessness, terror, murder.
Me?
They're all around us.
I'm not sure if I can help you.
I know. But not for long, sweet America.
Wow, this is the first time we've had so many choices.
Oh, no. Don't claim
Absolutely not.
restore
In fact,
peace,
I'd vote for
order,
Dave twice if
and
I could.
prosperity to this great nation.
Anything else?
Those who oppose us will be removed forever.
Oh, yes. Everything here is from Dave's adventures in the wasteland before he founded the Republic.
For soon,
I give a tour every day starting around 2 p.m.
reborn.
You should stop by
The
then.
enclave will be its salvation.
I'd never really thought about that before. Why do you ask?
Signing off.
Oh, wonderful. I'd be happy to accept your contribution on behalf of the Republic. And Dave just increased the budget for the museum this year, too. I was going to buy books for the children, but this is far more important. Great. What do you have? Oh no. Dave sent you to tell me that, didn't he? I'll go right away, I promise.
And now, one of my inspirational quotes from the mouth of your president.
President
John
Daddy
Henry
says the people from outside the Republic are bad.
Ah, Dave,
Do I
lead our
not
Republic to
destroy my
glory.
enemies
Are
when
you
I
really
make
from the
them my
wasteland?
friends?
Wow!
Later.
I'm gonna win this.
Do you need more than that gift? The election is still going. An opponent? Seriously? But, wait. No, this is a free republic. Let the people make their choice. I am confident that they will recognize me as their true and proper leader. Anything else? Very well.
Hi there.
Out with it, Ambassador. This republic isn't going to run itself.
This is your president, John
The ele-
Henry Eaton. Let's chat,
I'm sorry,
shall we?
but the president must be a citizen of the republic to run for office. So you do not qualify.
That is unquestionably,
Anything else?
American. I am
Very well.
referring, of course, to our great national pastime, baseball.
I heard that Dave allowed you to stay.
So it had been.
You're
That's
right.
America. Before we
Dave
were
says you're okay?
devastated by atomic war, each state had its own professional baseball team. Imagine.
Something you need?
Perfect, cloudless day. The sun is warm and welcoming.
But I did
On the
already.
horizon, they appear like
Rachel,
knights of
come play
yore,
with me.
armed with
I bet
bats
Ralph
of
isn't
ash
doing anything.
and hickory.
Why don't you ask him?
Their name, Capital Congressman. Their purpose, revel in the joys of sport and sunshine. If only for an afternoon.
It's locked for
Now,
a reason.
ask yourself
Don't get any
this.
ideas.
What if the Capitol congressman could live?
Dave says you're okay?
What if they could compete with baseball teams from Pennsylvania or Maryland? Put your faith in John Henry Eden, great America.
Hey there, are you gonna play Republic with us? Hi,
Are you really
how are
from
you
the
today?
wasteland?
Recreation, healthy competition, all will live again. This country will.
I heard that Dave allowed you to...
And now, dearest America, we must say farewell. For there is much work to be done, and the Enclave never rests. Never. Till next time, this is
Yes?
President
What?
signing off.
Fingers crossed.
All done. Dave's the best.
Yes? What can... The election is... Good. The votes are in. If you'll excuse me, I'll be getting started on tallying the numbers. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Here's your caps. Keep this up, and I may deign to make you a citizen in a few years. Let's see what we have here. A vote for me.
And now, one
And
of
another
my
vote for me.
inspirational quotes.
A vote for
From the mouth
Rosie.
of your president, John
Bob?
Henry
The
Eden.
Brahmin smell awful today.
To your heart.
After counting the votes, the
people
president
under our
is...
system,
Well,
like the king
despite
and
the
monarchy,
hiccup, it looks
never
like I am
dies.
still declared the
Hello
winner.
again, America. This is John Henry Eden,
Yes?
your president.
What can...
There are some things we should talk about, if that's all right. When I was a child,
Hey there. Something you need? Did Dave win it again? I voted for him, you know.
Come on, make it fast. Who needs it? I'd prefer to be second in command anyway.
oh, the adventures.
I heard that Dave allowed you to stay.
Not creek to
I didn't win it, huh? Well, there'll always be other elections.
responsible and
There'll always be other elections.
was, for a little boy, the perfect existence. So
Dave says you're okay?
ask you, America, how many of your
Did Dave win it again?
can say the same? How many of this nation's
Yes?
youth
What?
are truly happy, truly carefree? Well, we both know the...
Another foreigner in
Hello.
I drunk?
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Yeah. Tear them apart.
Ain't no reason to
The slaves keep rolling.
stick around here, is there?
Oh, this is... It's gonna be fun.
is everything? Who are you again? What the hell? Idiot! You don't make